One technology that we have at our disposal inside of Cisco catalyst switching is stacking. Stacking is kind of the generic term for it, and Cisco's specific solution is called StackWise. What StackWise does is allows us to take physical chassis and represent them as a singular logical block. That's good from a management perspective because now you can manage them as a single object where you have accessibility via one management connection to all the physical ports that would exist here inside of the stacked architecture. We have a master switch that kind of controls them all. No surprise there, you'd have to do that. And we have these interconnect cables that allow us to get the cabling satisfied because these do have to be cabled together in a different manner. We don't use their regular Ethernet ports. Let me show you a little bit more about this one. So here we've got some stacked 3750Es, a very typical switch for this solution. And you can see, let's take a look at the cable itself just to get a sense of what it looks like. So it's not your typical connection. Doesn't look like a regular connection. These cables do come with your boxes, with your 3750s or switches that are typically used in this way. And then if we take a closer look, you can see how they're cabled up together. Zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so stack 1 goes to stack 2. You can see that. Let me get out my laser pointer here so you can see that a little bit better. Stack 1 goes to stack 2 if you follow that cable. And then stack 1 goes to stack 2 again. And then stack 1 goes all the way back to stack 2. So that's how we would cable these together. Doesn't seem too tricky, right? You have bigger cabling challenges in your own environment than what it takes to stack your switches together. And that is the cabling side of things. The logical side of things, let me show you what that would look like. It would look something like this. So you'd got your cables that are going between the chassis, and there you go. So the periphery, those are going to be cabled together. And that is your cabling for StackWise. There's something very special going on in the connectivity here that I'd like you to see. We have StackWise building out a logical switch, and I want you to see that ASW1 and ASW2 are participating in an Ether channel bundle on DSW1 and DSW2 respectively. But look at DSW2. It is using a single Ether channel bundle to channel to two different devices. This is multi-chassis Ether channel. What that means is I have an Ether channel between more than just two physical boxes. Usually when you think of Ether channel, you think of an Ether channel with maybe 2, 4, 8, 16 links between them, and then you bundle those together. What we're doing is something really, really radical. What we're doing is we're saying, you know what? I'm going to channel between these devices. And that looks very strange, doesn't it? Looks very strange. But that is classified as multi-chassis Ether channel, or MEC. It's fun to say MEC, like Mech Warrior. Multiple access switches in the same rack. So we're talking, you're grouping these together in the same physical rack. You're going to manage these as one. You have that interconnect with high-speed connectivity between the chassis. So, in fact, if traffic has to go from different access layer switches, it can do so pretty rapidly. And you have the benefit of superior technology between the access layer and the distribution layer, specifically Ether channel. Ether channel is one of those technologies where It gives you a lot of benefits, extra redundancy and throughput. There's not a ton to configure on StackWise that I would want you to take away here, but I do want you to understand how to view the high-level ingredients of StackWise. You do a show switch, and you can see the MAC address of the switch. That's for spanning trees perspective. It's going to be populated in the latter 48 bits of the bid. We can see the switch numbers. We can see the asterisk there showing what switch we're on. We can see the role is master for this switch that we are on. And things are looking pretty good. And we can see the other switches participating in this stack. You can also do a show switch stack ports to show the interconnect. That's the behind the scenes. You see port 1, port 2. If there was any doubt, you might check out the cabling, but we're looking at those ports in the background. So verification isn't too bad with regards to StackWise, but know these commands. It's all based on show switch, not a command you use really unless you're examining StackWise.